Hey guys, Sensei here, gonna check the recording. Yeah, it's recording this time, okay. Right, so, we're gonna play some Mount and Blade Warband. I've been playing this game a lot recently, because it's freaking awesome, let's be honest. And, it's not a massively popular game, but, oh, Pikey. I'm just gonna ignore that, okay, right. Defeat. I'm sorry about that. Right. We'll start a new game. As you can see, I've already played this game quite a bit. That's like the one I've been playing recently. That's one I played a while ago, and I don't really go on anymore. Right, I don't need a tutorial, because I played this game a lot. So, let's start a new game. Takes a little while to launch, but, welcome, adventurer, to Mount and Blade Warband. Before beginning the game, you must create your character. Remember that in traditional medieval society, depicted in the game, war and politics are usually dominated by male members of the nobility. That does not, however, mean that you should not choose to play a female character, or one who is not of noble birth. Many nobles have a somewhat easier start, but women and commoners can attain all of the same goals, and in fact have a much more interesting, if more challenging, early game. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to be a male because I'm a guy. Just, yeah. I'm going to be, like, the idea here is that, like, the higher up you go, the poorer you were. This pretty much, like, dictates, like, I don't know, sort of like your standing in society. So it's like, you were born years ago in a land far, far away. Your father was, and yeah. So that pretty much means that, like, you're already, like, respected the more you go up. So, like, a thief is obviously the lowest, and then these all sort of go up. I usually choose one of these two. I chose that one once and it was really boring. I guess I go over a nomad. Or should I go over thief? Either would be good. You know what, I'll start with a thief, I'll make it interesting. As the son of a thief, you had very little formal education. Instead, you were out on the street begging until you learned how to cutting purses until you learned how to pick locks, all the way through your childhood. Still, these long years made you streetwise and sharp to the secrets of the cities and shadowy back ways. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as a... Well, I think these two are probably the best to go for. I'll go as a street urchin. As a boy, growing out of childhood, you took to the streets, doing whatever you must to survive, begging, thieving, and working for gangs to earn your bread. You lived from day to day in this violent world, always one step ahead of the law and those who wished you ill. Then, as a young man, your life changed as it always does, and you became... I think I should go to a smith, because that sort of gives me good weapons, skills, and stuff, I'd imagine. Through the distinction felt sudden to you. Somewhere along the way, you became a man. You became a man! And the whole world seemed to change around you. You pursued a career as a smith, crafting items of function and beauty out of simple metal. As time wore on, you became master of your trade, and fine work started to fetch prime prices. With food in your belly and logs on your fire, you could take pride in your work and your growing reputation. But soon, everything changed, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. But then you took an arrow to the knee. Nah, JK. What made you take this decision was personal revenge, the loss of a loved one. Wanderlust, that's like wanting to walk around, I think. I don't know. Being forced out of your home, and lust for money and power. I want a noble cause. So, the loss of a loved one, or personal revenge, or being forced out of your home. They're all sort of like the noble ones. You know what, I'll go the loss of a loved one. Only you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life to become an adventurer. It was because of the loss of a loved one. I just told you that game, come on, keep up with it. All you can say is that you couldn't bear to stay, not with the memories of those you loved so close and so painful. Oh, no, it says there. Oh, geez, game. Perhaps your new life will let you forget or honour your name that you can no longer bear to speak. Become an adventurer and ride to your destiny. I like the sound of that. That sounds fun. Oh boy. I always just do realistic because I don't know. I just like realistic. So realistic, no quitting without saving. Now you enter your name and distribute your attribute points, your attribute, skill, and weapons points. You can click on the various elements of the screen to learn how each one will affect your character. Right, well I'm going to go over sort of my favourite setup here. So in the attributes I usually just balance it out. I usually like to get a lot of Iron Flesh and Power Strike, because that's damage and health. One-handed weapons and archery as well. So I'll go for all those. So I guess I'll put all my points here into archery. And so I usually just, let's just try and make these as equal as possible. So that's 2 intelligence and 2 strength. Intelligence is good because it gives you more skill points. Charisma is good because it increases your party size by 1. And yeah, intelligence gives you another skill point, and they all pretty much have their own skills in here. Agility gives 5 weapon points and slightly increases movement speed. So that's good. Strength, every point adds +1 to hit points. That's like your health, I think. And yeah, so right, let's go. Right, power draw. Let's put 2 in there, 2 in there, 1 in there. Shield is always useful. But I've got good looting, haven't I? Yep. Trainer. Tracking is useful. Tactics is useful. So is pathfinding. What's that? Or wind management and surgery. There you go. Because that surgery gives me 4% chance that a party member will, or every point I put in there gives me a 4% chance a party member will be knocked unconscious instead of killed. And so that means they can like come back after they heal to your party. And this has increases healing speed, so that's good. I just realised I've got so far through this and haven't said what the game is. It's pretty much it's like Chivalry or War of the Roses, I think it's called, but with a tactical element to it, sort of like a real-time strategy element to it. So you can like you build up an army, and then you can go sort of like you make an allegiance with one of the kingdoms, and you make an allegiance with one of the kingdoms, and you become like one of their nobles eventually, and yeah, that's how you do it pretty much. So right, I need to enter a name, and well, I can't have a name like Sir because I'm a thief. So I could do that, but wait, no, I'm struggling with the capitals here. I can't even type. So center. Now what to do? Should I just leave it as center, or should I put something else on there? I'll just leave it. Right, so I don't think I need to do anything else. So let's go. Yeah, I usually don't bother with this. Adjust your character's face using the buttons and the sliders. Rotate the head, yeah. I just usually click randomize until I find something that looks cool. Or not too bad. Yeah, because there are lots of really retarded hairstyles in here. These people, this is supposed to be like the youngest you can get, and he'll look really old. Oh, he has a ponytail, goddammit. Goddammit game. Oh, okay. I'll go with this guy, but I'll just change the hair colour. Wow, this hair colour's changing quite a lot. Yeah, I'll go with that, why not? Okay, this is the thing where you choose where you want to go. You hear about Calradria, a land torn between rival kingdoms, battling each other for supremacy. A haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in the pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally you hold the key to the destiny in your hands. Free to choose as you will, and whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Caradria and its kingdoms, you... Okay, right, this is where I choose where to go. So, the Swadia, or Swadia, but I don't really know. I'm not going there. I don't want to go to the Vegas or the Khajiit Khanate or the Saranid Sultanate, so it's between the Roddiks and the Nords. The Roddiks sort of have all the snowy lands, so I'm thinking I'm going to go for the Nords. They're sort of like the Vikings, and they're pretty awesome. They're also blue. Blue is best colour. You took passage with a trading longship carrying gear falcons, I don't know, from the furthest reach to the north to be bartered for linen and wool. It sailed early in the season, but the master reckoned that the risks of drifting ice and later winter storms could be justified by arriving ahead of the sea raiders, who by April would be sailing from their island lairs to ravage Calradria's coasts. It was some relief when your ship came in sight of the delta of the Vil and Bollock rivers, and a short while later rode past tidal flats and coastal marshes to the city of Sarkov, home to the sea raiders' distant kinsmen, the Nordic lords, who a few generations ago had carved themselves out a kingdom in this rich but troubled land. Oh boy, it's time to begin. Oh, not quite. You're exhausted by the time you find the inn in Sarkov and fall asleep quickly. However, you are awake. You wake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets which are still deserted. All of a sudden you hear the sound that stands the hair. I can't speak. All of a sudden you hear a sound that stands the hairs on the back of your neck on end. The rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. Okay, that should be the end of the really long monologues now. Hopefully. Not monologues, or whatever they're called. The really long speeches. So what, I have throwing knives? Oh, I've never used these before, so... Well, that went pretty well. Merchant of Sarkov. Are you alright? Well, I guess you're alive. At any rate. I'm not sure we can say the same for that other fellow. Or the other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night. Although, heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more inside. Out here we don't know who's listening. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the street. And then, finally, convinced you have not been followed, comes near you to speak. Ooh, fancy house you have here, mister. Some big cabbages as well. Can I have your cabbage? Maybe? Cabbage? Cabbage? Cabbage! Here's some bread too. Let's talk to this guy. Now, let me explain my proposition. See? We've always had brigands in the hills, driven to banditry by war, debt, or love of violence. Recently, however, they've been getting bolder, leaving their camps in the wild and venturing into town, looking for unwary prey. The watch commander tells us it's because of the fighting on the frontiers. Fewer men to keep an eye on the streets, but I'm not sure what to make of that. It seems to me that the most logical explanation is that the bandits have an ally inside the walls who helps them enter unnoticed and helps them identify particularly tempting targets. Last week, you see, they took my brother. Dum dum dum. It's getting tense. I don't know what my brother was thinking. A lad from a prominent house, out alone after dark in times like these. Well, I suppose you were too, but you're a stranger here, and didn't know how bad things have become. He had no such excuse, but he's family, so what can you do? If you don't protect your kin, then people will start thinking that you can't protect your investments either, and I can't have that. No doubt the gang will soon send word about a ransom, but I don't care to pay it. It's going down. So here's my proposition. You look like you've had a bit of experience with a blade, and more importantly, you must have a bit of fire in your belly, or you wouldn't be coming to Calredra to seek your fortune. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Gather a small party, track down these bandits to their lair, and teach them a lesson they won't forget, and get my brother back safe. In return, you'll earn my lasting gratitude and a bit of silver. What do you say? Meh, sure, why not? Yay, 100 dinars. You won't be able to do this by yourself, though. If you try and take on the whole gang single-handedly, the hunter will become the hunted, I'll warrant. You'll first want to round up a group of volunteers. There's always a few lads in the villages around here, looking for a bit of work that's more interesting than tilling the soil or hauling water. They'll follow you if you pay, so take this purse of 100 dinars. Consider it an advance on your reward. Sorry, my headphones appeared to be messing up there, but it's all good. Take this purse of 100 dinars. Consider it an advance on your reward. Go around to the villages and use the money to hire some help. I'll reckon that you need at least 5 men to take on these bandits. Oh boy. Oh my god, I'm actually not a silent protagonist. Oh my god. Very good, sir. I'll go collect some of these men from around the villages. Yes, quite there. I don't know, I should probably just speak in my normal voice for me. But, good. You can find me again in a tavern here in Sargorth after you've got your group together. Then we'll speak about what we do next. You've taken your first quest. You may view your quest log anytime by pressing Q anytime in the game. I did not know that. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, I always just go in here. And this just pretty much tells me all the things. So yeah. Right, okay, but now I have to go to the villages. Let's just have a quick look around. This is the map. A little bit like Total War, kind of, but you have all these villages. In the villages you can buy stuff and, yeah, sorry, my voice. Yeah, in the villages you can buy stuff and, recruit, yeah, villages you can buy stuff, you can buy a few things, you can, recruit some soldiers, you can talk to the elder if he has any tasks doing, and then the village will like you more. These are cities, they all have, arenas where you can do tournaments and stuff, and they also have marketplaces where you can go and fight. Marketplaces where you can go and buy different things, but it's really expensive, ridiculously expensive. Yeah, and they're all garrisoned as well. You can have garrisons in cities, and these are castles, which are just cities but without marketplaces and tournaments and stuff, and they're more easily defendable. Kind of. They all have walls, so also you can loot villages as well. But I wouldn't advise that unless you're actually at war against some people. You are now viewing the overland map. Left click on the map to move your party to that location. Enter the selected town or pursue your selected party. Time will pause on the overland map if your party is not moving, waiting or resting. To wait anywhere, simply press and hold down the spacebar. It's a pretty good map. I mean, the graphics aren't great, but well, it's not going to be. To be fair, if the only downside is the not brilliant graphics of this whole game. That's the only thing I can fault it for. Occasionally, I've had a few small glitches, but nothing that stops me from playing. Actually, once I had to restart on and off because there was just cheering constantly going on in the background. I won a tournament and the cheering glitched and the cheering wouldn't end, so I had to leave and come back in again. Ah, crap, my D key is stuck down. Okay, it's back again. Right, okay. But yeah, where am I? Okay, I'm over here in Fenada because I just went there. I hired three recruits. You can see them in your party. Here they are. You can have prisoners as well, which is pretty cool. Here's me. I have a horse, but I don't have any armor or anything, so... I also don't have any bow and arrows, which I really like in this game. They're so much better than, pole arms and throwing knives. If you look at my character, if you look at my inventory right now, I have tools which I can sell. I have a crossbow. Oh, okay. At least I have something. I have this, which is hardly any armor. Yeah, because those give you armor. You have helmet, gloves, a horse. It's actually not too bad of a horse. apart from the writing isn't brilliant. You have smoked fish. You need food to feed your party, or else their morale gets low, and if it gets low enough, people will start leaving the party. I have throwing knives because I'm a thief, and the game thinks, hey, you're a thief. You need throwing knives. I'm ditching those for a shield, and then I'm ditching. Oh great! I probably should have attacked those guys. Right, let's attack these guys. Okay, so it's 7 looters versus us. Surrender or die. As you wish, prepare to die. So you've encountered looters. You have 4 troops fit for battle against their 7. Charge the enemy. Okay. As you can see, down in the bottom left there is the battle advantage. Is the renown value. So that's like how much renown you'll get for winning this battle. And the battle advantage is like how much of an advantage you hold over your opponent. Obviously in this, I don't have any advantage. As well. Well, there's no advantage to either side because, well, it's like 7 versus 4, so it's not really... And they're all really weak, and we have me. Not like gut or anything, but I'm force, and none of these guys do. And they're all really weak. If I can actually hit any of them... Okay, I'm losing this fight here. I need to get out of here before I die. See, my recruits are stronger than them as well, I think. Yeah, and your attack does more damage if you're going quicker. As you can see there by my... Oh my god! I'm gonna get killed. I'm going to die. Yeah, but thankfully that will give my Nord recruits some experience, and I can level them up. Yeah, because you can level them up so that they become stronger. When I get a chance, I'll show you that. But yeah, we won the battle. I almost died. Your health, like, sort of, I don't know if I'd say carry over, but your damage does sort of carry over. So let's see. Okay, no, let's compare these. That doesn't have any thrust, so I'll keep this. 26 to body armor. Is it worth it? I don't know. Oh well, might as well do it. Doesn't give me any more leg. Doesn't give me any leg armor though, which is a bit of a pain. 12 to leg armor. Oh no, those are better. Right. What I'm going to do with these is I'm going to take them all and then I'm going to sell them for however much money I can sell them for. Not very much, because it's like games like Skyrim. It's like the price massively drops. Right. I can upgrade these guys. As you can see, they're quite expensive. Well, they're not quite expensive. They're not really that expensive in the grand scheme of things, but when you get to the more the better guys, then it does become very expensive. Right, I've got 5